What is going on, everybody? FJC here, back with another video, and today I have another discussion video for you guys. As you can tell by the title, today we're going to be talking about the current state of FPS games in 2024. The reason I'm making this video is because we're over halfway into the year, and there's been a lot of upcoming FPS games that have shown promise, and also a lot of games that did show promise but didn't live up to the expectations. But before we get directly into the topic, if you guys could do me a favor, go ahead and follow my Twitch and my TikTok. Both are linked in the description. And make sure to check out all my other YouTube channels also down below in the description, as I have a shorts and VODs channel as well as an IRL vlog channel. But guys, this video is 100% in my opinion, so if you guys have any other opinions or completely disagree with me, also feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. As of recently, I felt like the FPS genre as a whole has been very stale. It's definitely shown its glimpses of glimmer and hope, but unfortunately, all those games that have shown that promise have slowly faded away. It always seems like there's a brand new FPS game on the rise, and whenever that game releases, it always ends up failing. And I don't want you guys to get confused because there currently is X-Defiant gameplay in the background. I'm not talking about X-Defiant at all. I really don't think this game has failed. Although the player base has declined a little bit, the game is still very successful. But for example, if we take a look at a game like The Finals, the reason why I believe The Finals has hit such a steep downfall is because of the devs and their lack of confidence in their own changes. When I was playing this game consistently and I dumped a huge amount of time into this game, the developers always seemed like they wanted to go in a certain direction with the game, but because of the game's community and what they were saying when they did make changes, they always went back on the changes that they made. So this problem doesn't lie 100% on the developer's fault, but I feel like as a developer, when you do make changes to a game, you have to be pretty stern on those changes. There's always going to be gripe from the game's community about what should have been done, but being extremely specific to The Finals, this game's community at the time was extremely competitive based, and even the way that the game was designed, you can clearly tell that this game was made with a competitive mindset. Pretty much any time the devs made a change for The Finals, the community was kind of split down the middle in terms of reaction. The competitive players, including myself, usually reacted pretty well to the balancing changes because they did make some very good changes in the game when they needed to do so. But the other 50%, which I would call the casual players and people that didn't really hard grind competitive, usually reacted poorly to whatever changes they made for the game. This in turn made the developers kind of go back on the changes that they made, reverting all the work that they did pretty much. If you take a look at The Finals now, there's still a pretty active player base for the game, but when I played the Season 3 playtest, which some content creators were invited to, you could definitely tell that they lost all the creative factor for their game and essentially just added Overwatch skills into the game and then swapped the competitive mode completely, changing the whole sandbox of how the game was meant to be played and created for. And now when you play The Finals competitive, it's essentially a glorified search and destroy with Overwatch skills. And those are just some examples, with me being very specific to one game. If you take a look at other FPS games, they're also in shambles completely. For example, CS2 has tons of bugs and issues, and people constantly talk about how bad of a game it is. On top of the bugs and issues, there was a lot of core functions that you were able to do in CSGO that when CS2 came out, you just weren't able to do at all. And just as an example, I had multiple of my friends stop playing the game completely because they didn't have CL_right hand 0, meaning your weapon is held in your left hand, which a lot of people like to play with in Counter-Strike. This one console command, which dating back to Counter-Strike Source and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, have both been in the game since the games have released, but unfortunately for CS2, it took them about 8 months just to add this one command. Now, I don't want this video to seem like I'm just nitpicking every negative of every FPS game that is out right now, because I could genuinely sit here for hours on end and talk about all the negatives in every single popular FPS game because they outweigh the positives so much at this point. But right now, as a content creator and streamer, mainly streaming FPS games, it seems like we've been in this constant cycle where we see a game that seems like it has potential, we play that game for a little bit, the community realizes it's not living up to its expectations, the game slowly phases out, another game shows glimpses of hope, and the same cycle happens, rinse and repeat. But there's two games on the horizon right now for the FPS genre that I plan to make dedicated videos for. The first one being Arena Breakout Infinite, and the second one being Delta Force Hawk Ops. If you guys aren't familiar with Arena Breakout Infinite is originally a mobile game, and a couple of months back they announced that they were porting the game over to PC and also had a playtest, and why this game raised so much popularity and attention was because of the whole Tarkov higher than EOD paid edition drama. I'm not really going to get into too much detail here, but that kind of gave it a shove in terms of popularity and attention. But the game actually was successful because the quality of life changes that they made for this game and how actively they listened to the community was insane during their playtest. And when I talk about quality of life changes, I'm comparing it directly to Escape from Tarkov. When first trying out Arena Breakout Infinite, you could see all the quality of life changes that Tarkov players had been asking for the longest time straight away upon release of that playtest. And definitely the biggest selling point of Arena Breakout Infinite is that the game is 100% free. Same with Delta Force Hawk Ops. And another reason why I mentioned both Arena Breakout Infinite and Delta Force Hawk Ops is because these two games are essentially recreations of games that we currently have or have seen before in the past, and they're just doing it better. Just from watching gameplay of Delta Force Hawk Ops, you can clearly tell that it's taken heavy inspiration of Battlefield 2042's UI and color scheme. But when I see Delta Force Hawk Ops gameplay, the only thing that comes to my mind is this is what Battlefield 2042 should have been. Upon the official release of Delta Force, it's going to have a campaign mode, an extraction mode, which has been featured in the playtests, and a multiplayer mode. I just really think and have a lot of confidence that these two games can change the direction that FPS games are going in, and I really have a lot of confidence that these two games could break the rinse and repeat cycle. Anyways, guys, that's everything from me for today. I do appreciate everybody who stayed to the end of the commentary and listened to my little rant. If you guys are real ones, comment potato in the comment section down below so I know you made it all the way here. Like I said earlier on in the video, this video was me giving my opinion, so feel free to give yours in the comment section down below, because I do genuinely want to know if you agree or disagree with what I had to say. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you stay notified anytime I upload. And I will see everybody in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out. Much love.